Hello, Stephen.
Good afternoon.
How are
Yeah, I don't need that. That's loud already.
That's all right.
Yeah, we won't need it.
You're number 2 here if you want to change the volume in your headset.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's good. Can we press buttons and make sounds happen?
Work, study, or long vacation, don't.
They're the breaks for the AFLW, for Wharf Radio. Hang on, put it back on. Oh, have I still got the thing? Check it back on.
Match of the day.
Oh, that is a sting and a half. We need to make our own for the NPL. Yeah.
That's the first stats person I've seen at a game this year. Yeah. I was just saying, Steve, here comes the rain again, by the way.
Yeah.
Good decision. I was just saying, that's the first stats person I've seen this year at a game.
I see him.
You do?
Yeah, but I think he said he was from Sports Arena. I don't know if that's the same as our actual stats, is it? Is that like some
I don't know.
weird betting site or
who
something?
does ours normally? I'm not sure.
I know some of them.
Dun, 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 dun,
Let's
dun.
get the screen going, hey?
What time are we looking at? 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it up, Stephen. You know, I can live with rain. I can live with
Wind?
no, I can live
Hate
with
wind.
sun. I hate the wind. Yeah.
Oh, I'm very lucky we're not out at Broadmeadows doing this game if it was the other way around, because it would be terrible. All of our stuff would be wet. Oh, you can just hear that noise. Oh,
Yeah.
quick, get under cover, boys.
Yeah. It's gonna have to
There's
be a
that one.
back row or second back row job today.
Yeah. That's what she said. Just, I hope this isn't going to air.
No need for the sprinklers today, you reckon?
I'll put them on just to be safe. Oh, South Melbourne's ahead, boys.
Oh no.
Who scored? Doverson. It's funny he doesn't play more games. Like, when he plays, he seems to score goals. In, like, big games. Just like, he's like the big game player that never plays games, and when he plays, he scores. Doverson, 56 minutes. Oh, boy. There was that blob we saw coming across Port Phillip Bay. Oh, dear. Yeah. This is about the time I'd put out the mics behind the goals, usually, when the players are going off in their warm-ups. Receiver. Like the same way, like a receiver, like the same way Saramonic? Saramonic, yeah, is the brand.
And you control it.
Yeah. So you have the receiver. So the receiver, I've just got the receiver sitting there, and then I've got the two signals on the pinned to the mics. And then as long as it's got line of sight, it's good for like, it's usually 70 meters from here to the goal. It's enough. I can do 100, but 50 is probably all right. So they can cut in and out a bit, but you get some good sounds at times. Usually, like keepers just smashing their boots on the post to get the mud out. Someone just yelling out away really loudly when the corner comes in, which must always help because you weren't sure what to do with it. Yeah. I was working with Raven the other last round, and he was saying that he thought that his camera setup was boosting the sound of my FX mics when I wasn't talking, thinking it was like the main thing to focus on. I don't know if that's true or not, though. I don't know how. All right, we need some more shit. What do you want to do with the lineup reading, mate? Do you want to?
I might just do it.
Yep.
I'll go through my insufferable introduction. I will say, hey, now.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
And so we return to the Senol NPL Victoria with Easter and the Cup battles behind us. The league's heartbeat races again. It's match week 8, and this evening Chris Taylor's opaque Oakleigh Cannons take to the field at home, hovering at the edge of the top 6, still very much in search of their best football in 2026. And facing them, Hume City, unbeaten in 6 after the match week 1 blemish to Altona, with Nick Hegarty once more at the wheel. Hume seek to turn a rare victory over their rivals from Jack Edwards into a statement that would prove plenty, not just to themselves, but to the diminishing doubters who remain. Brent Sternberg and Steve Curtin here with you on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel for the Oakleigh Cannons and Hume City. We'll bring Steve in just a moment. Oakleigh have made 4 changes from the side that beat Epping City in the Cup last weekend. Trapp, Jaradovic and Giacorini all go back to the bench. James Georgiou is out of the squad. Jordan Hall, Kingsley Sinclair, Campbell Strong and Alex Salmon come into the starting 11. Thomas Manos is the goalkeeper. The back 4 of Labib, Brodie Boyce, Jordan Hall and Connor Hampson. The 4-man midfield of Kingsley Sinclair, Cameron McGilp, Campbell Strong and the NPL Victoria player of the month for the month of February, Liston Diaz, and that fearsome striker partnership of Joe Guest and Alex Salmon, who has scored in 4 of the last 5 league meetings against Hume City. Hume have made a raft of changes from the side that beat Riversdale in the Cup, but just 2 from the team that beat Preston thrillingly in the league a week ago. Burkan Kirdar and Taylor Shriver's return. Josh O'Kane and Steve White are out of the side. So Chris Oldfield is the goalkeeper. The back 4 of Aidan Coyne, Taylor Shriver's, Aaron Kelvar and Koda Kadua. Braden Spink will move up into midfield, we think, alongside the returning Burkan Kirdar. Aki Tsukamoto starts ahead of those 2 with Chris Engelhart and Adasu Bayu leading the line. And as usual, the captain, Josh Bingham, up front for Hume City this evening. It's easy to tell the 2 teams apart, Oakleigh in the blue and Hume City in the red. Hume City, who have surprised a lot of people so far this season with their form after the falter on match day 1. Have they surprised you, Steve Curtin?
Look, a little bit they have. They've surprised a lot of people this season, Brent, but one thing's for sure, their recruits that they've brought in this season have made all the difference, and we've got to talk about Aaron Calvar, one of those players who's come in and really bolstered the defence, similar to Jordan Hall and Jacob Tratt did here at Oakleigh a couple of seasons ago in their championship winning year. He's made a huge difference, hitting the scoreboard last week. The likes of Engelhart coming in on the wing, and Adisu Bayu, the player of the month for the Senol NPL Victoria in March, and rightly so. He's been in great form, and we've seen him at this level before at Green Gully recently last year, but I tell you what, Nick Hegarty is really getting the best out of him so far this season, and yeah, what an asset he is to have out there on the left flank. So, interestingly though, Brent, it looks like we're talking about some of the positions that we predicted. It looks like Aaron Calver is actually lining up in central defence as we expected, but Taylor Shrivers looks like he's been shifted out to the right back role as he comes into the team. Spink, we thought he might have started in a defensive mid role. He's lining up in central defence. So they've had to move the magnets around Hume City, but they've got plenty of confidence flowing through their veins after going undefeated since that little banana skid back in round 1. And looking forward to seeing what they can conjure up this afternoon. They haven't had a very good run of results in the league against Oakleigh, but they did get that 3-2 win against them to knock them out of the Cup competition last year, courtesy of a spectacular Godfrey DeBelle winner. He starts from the bench tonight after returning from international duty, and isn't it good, Brent, seeing the stars of NPL Victoria representing in the FIFA window last week?
Yeah, made his first senior appearance for South Sudan. Played along, come off the bench to make an appearance. Kerr also playing for the East African nation. This is Aiki Tsukamoto, who looks like he's lined up as one of those number 6s, technically speaking, alongside Aidan Coyne, who has been playing at right back for Hume City, but he goes into midfield tonight. So Kirdar playing in the number 10 shirt and in the number 10 position. Just in behind this man, Josh Bingham, who might have copped a little bit of a clip there. Hopefully played the long ball forward looking for Liston Diaz. Down goes Aaron Calvar. This one to be tidied up by Braden Spink. Desperately hoping for the ball to just fall over the edge there and go behind for a goal kick, and that's what happens. Our official, by the way, in the middle this evening is Yanni Miletus. running with the flags on the touchlines. Tom Rushton and Matea Brazel, and our fourth official is Marky Lukeris. Rain has stopped for the moment, Steve, but we were marvelling at the biblical rain that we got for about an hour and a half almost pre-kickoff.
Yeah, well, it was a damp walk to the gantry, wasn't it, Brent? But it was also the wind as well that was a concern for how this match might be affected by the elements. It's down to 12 degrees. It feels like it's 10, so well done to all the spectators who've made their way out here. As Burkhan Kurta is surging forward, he scored 2 in the cup during the week. Engelhardt, who scored the winner against Preston in their last league outing, has his cross blocked well by Hampson, and it's almost made its way out for the first corner of the afternoon, but it's taken a nick off a little inside edge off the flag there and out for a throw. We've got a player down already for the Cannons, just off the ball. We'll see if we can catch that one again as to what happened. It is Cam McGilp, who was subbed out injured in their last league match against Avondale. Copped a kick to the ankle in the second half and was subbed out, and it's a shame to see him. He's down on his haunches here as well again, as the trainer is out to check on the welfare of Cam McGilp, who must feel like he not having much luck go his way with on the injury front lately.
No, he was one that he did play in the cup last weekend against Epping City, so that obviously wasn't an injury that was too serious. But he's gone down early again here, still in the early minutes here at Jack Edwards Reserve. We've played barely 5, and our official Yanni Milides has just asked for the Oakleigh doctors to come out and have a look at him.
A lot of strapping on the left knee, but it looks like he's reached for the right ankle. He might have just turned that right ankle as he was tracking back. He did his defensive work. He didn't want to wave the white flag too early, but as soon as the ball went out of play, it was obvious that he's got a bit of a problem here, and he might have to be subbed out early. Brent, it looks like he's struggling a lot with that one. So there is some options on the bench for Chris Taylor, a likely replacement. Well, they don't have James Georgiou. He would have been the obvious option to come in as a central midfielder. Subs are warming up on the far side. Play's going to go on here, so Oakleigh down to 10 just for the moment while they make a decision on what to do. Here's Liston Diaz combining with Joe Guest. He's the most advanced player for the Cannons, and Oldfield's out to claim, and I think he enjoyed sliding across the grass there. So Joseph Ford looks like the man to be coming on, so an opportunity for Joseph Ford to do well against the club that he represented last year, Hume City. Not too many players making the move between these two clubs, unlike Avondale and Oakleigh last league weekend. It seemed like half of the players had played for one of the two clubs in that fixture. Not a well-travelled path so much between Hume and Oakleigh. Joseph Ford lining up as the right back out at Broadmeadows last season, as the rain has arrived here again in Melbourne southeast. So very privileged to be undercover here. Nathan behind the camera, giving you the best look at the action. Steve Curtin and Brent Sternberg. We hope you're enjoying the action here wherever you're tuning in Melbourne, regional Victoria, interstate or abroad. And we do wish you a happy Orthodox Easter weekend if you're celebrating this week, as Hume's looking to get on the front foot here. Engelhardt getting back as Cam McGilp, who has got back up to his feet. He's still favouring that left side that he's struggling just a touch. So maybe they're going to hold off just for a moment, but it looks like Ford is ready to come on. He's still got the bib off.
He's champing at the bit, isn't he? McGilp did miss the first 4 matches of the season with that knee injury. It's only his 4th appearance this season. Brilliant midfielder, which so much evolves around him with what Oakleigh like to do.
He's not solely built, but he's so hard and tough, and he's never one that wants to be substituted, even if he is on one leg. But we're seeing, looks like Joseph Ford is being sent back to the technical area, and he might just be popping the warm-up jacket back on. Keep an eye on that one, Brent.
That's maybe not the worst thing for Joey Ford. Just chuck on the beanie and the jacket and keep warm.
Wait for the showers to clear.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be it's a very nice surface here at Jack Edwards Reserve, and I can imagine it would be as slick as it can be with all the rain that we have had so far. The artificial light almost starting to take effect as Kidder swings it out to the left-hand side. Having his shot blocked there was Koda Kadua. Took a wicked deflection. Here's Liston Diaz. What a season he has had so far for the Cannons. And Joe Guest, a man who needs no introductions. That pass is a little bit errant, and it just goes behind Kingsley Sinclair and out of play.
Yeah, well played, Aidan Coyne there, relishing the opportunity to play this midfield role today. the son and grandson of Socceroos of years gone by. He's got big shoes to fill in the family lineage, but he's accounting himself well here. So here's Shrivers. We saw a nice little interchange of positions between Shrivers, who's probably pretty unfamiliar playing this right back role. We've seen him at Green Gully and the Knights in the league before, playing as a central defender, and he was pushing up before with Tsukamoto dropping in and allowing him to move up the flank. So Nick Hegarty is definitely been putting a lot of work in the last fortnight since the last league outing, which was that great 3-2 win 2 weeks ago against Preston Lions at home. They've got themselves their first corner of the afternoon here. So all the red shirts are gathered at the back post. Plenty of tall timber in there. Manos isn't tested. That's a disappointing result there for Hume.
The other thing that we should mention, obviously, you can see the rain on your screens at home, and it is quite windy as well. So that's going to wreak a bit of havoc with the set pieces this afternoon. It was a very windy afternoon out at Naziol Stadium when they played Preston as well a fortnight ago. I know that played a big part in the first goal that was scored in that particular match. They've started okay here at Hume City. Probably had the lion's share of the possession. I'm talking about Joseph Ford, who's on the bench. He scored for Hume City when last they beat the Oakleigh Cannons in the league 4 years ago. As Joe Guest comes rolling forward and draws the foul. That will set up Oakleigh's first attacking set piece that they'll look to take quickly. Too quickly. And now they will have to set up and take this one from the dead ball situation.
Yeah, referee Yanni Miletus keen to get out the spray can here and march that Hume wall back 10 yards as Chris Oldfield looking to organise with 2 or 3 players in it. Joe Guest standing over it. So the left-footed delivery it will be. Throwing in the wall for Hume. Around the grounds, 10 minutes to go at BT Connor and South Melbourne, despite their OFC commitments, are leading Preston Lions 2-0. So an away win on the cards there, unless Preston can mount a late comeback. Let's see what Joe Guest can muster up here. It's a tasty ball into the back post, an inviting one. Jordan Hall was making the run, and look at that defensive effort from Bingham and Calver getting there. Bingham might have hurt himself here as well, as he's down on his haunches. But that was a very inviting ball from Joe Guest. Jordan Hall was probably millimetres away from making it 1-0 there.
For the second time already, the medical folks here have had to come out and tend to one of the players here. Looks like it might be a contact injury potentially for the Hume City captain and all-time leading goal scorer, Josh Bingham.
We'll just take a look at that one again, Brent, and see if we can capture what happened there with Bingham. He's might have copped a bit of friendly fire, as they say in the AFL code there, off the boot of his teammate Aaron Calver. Even does look like he's holding his finger, and Bingham put his body in there to deny Hall, went to ground, and Calver's boot might have come across the finger there, perhaps. We'll just keep an eye on that, but I'm sure they'll be looking to tape it up, or maybe call for the Band-Aids and be able to get up and running again in a moment. But
an attritional start here at Jack Edwards for the 39th league meeting between these two sides. All of them have come since 2003. The first 2 meetings were in the second division in that particular season before Oakleigh were promoted at the end of that year, and then they didn't meet again until Hume City found their way up into the top division in 2008. They've met all the way up and down the, well, not the pyramid, but they've met in the Doherty Cup many times, and we remember that great Australia Cup contest as well, that Hume City emerged triumphant, a 108th minute winner scored by Marcus Schroen. As we've got that weird sort of aesthetic right now at Jack Edwards, we've still got the rain that's just starting to dissipate, and the sun as well, the elements battling for the skyline supremacy, wind still blowing as well. Josh Bingham back up on his feet. Looks like he might be heading to the touchline, and we'll re-enter the fray in just a moment.
Well, Godfrey DeBello was enthusiastically warming up. He's got the TheraBand around the knees there, going through his warm-up routine, but it looks like he's going to have to just keep the jacket and the vest on, as this one's sent long by Oldfield. Knocked down by Salmon for Guest, and now Kingsley Sinclair motoring into the Hume City penalty area across the face of the goal. Well placed was Taylor Shrivers to clear it into touch. So Josh Bingham continuing on after getting that treatment to the fingers. We said Nath behind the camera giving you a expert view of that one, a close-up look at the physio, fixing the digits there for Bingham, who performed well last week in place of Godfrey DeBello, who was away on international duty in that 3-2 win against Preston. This one's forward by Boyce. Getting forward is Labib. He won't be able to round this one up before it goes out of play at the train line end of the venue. Also around the grounds today, a completed result from the early kickoff. A real feast of football today. Heidelberg United 2, Altona Magic 2. So a really handy point for Goran Lozanowski's side in their battles to survive and stay in the Senol NPL Victoria for next season. It's turned into a real scrap since that delay for the Bingham injury, hasn't it, Brent?
It has. Oakleigh had that one little thrust forward right after the recommencement. Well done there by Shrivers to keep it from the brilliant Liston Diaz. 4 goals already this season, a brace in the match day 2 victory over Altona, averaging just under 3 shots on goal per game. Here's Connor Hampson, just thwarted for now. That pass misses the intended target of McGilt, but tidied up by Jordan Hall. McGilt looks like he has recovered from that early knock, which is good to see. Guest. Salmon brings it down for Diaz, who scuffed the shot a little bit, but still drew a pretty darn good save from the brilliant Chris Oldfield, and Oakleigh turned the ball all the way back here to Tom Manos. Oldfield, of course, who has returned to Hume City this season. Long-time Melbourne Knights player, and prior to that with Altona. Appearance number 129 for Hume City this evening. When he makes his 130th appearance next week, he will go alongside Mark Otchang and Michael Weir for 4th all-time for Hume City in the top 5. That was a good save.
Well, he reacted quickly as well. It was a good build-up from Oakleigh. Nothing flashy, just really simple. Guest involved, little knockdown from Salmon, and it was the quick thinking of Liston Diaz. As we saw in the last league game, the quick thinking, the improvisation, that goal he scored against Avondale, took it first time, hit it really well. You know, it was written in the stars that he was going to score against Avondale, like in that particular fixture, and he did in that low-scoring 1-1 result to get them a share of the points and continue their run, try and get them up the table and into the top 6. They come into this game in 7th. They don't want to be in 7th. They certainly see themselves as a top 6 side. I'm sure they will end the season there, and certainly for Hume City, the way they're going, be pretty confident we'll see them in the final series as well. So a good spell for Oakleigh in the last 7 or 8 minutes. Hume City just trying to wrestle back a bit of control. Big losses as well in midfield without Josh O'Kane and Steve White. Steve White, a player who hasn't really hit form, at least last year in that relegation season for the Knights. He's been looking really good so far this season. He has 1 goal to his name this season, a really fine assist as well for that winning goal for Engelhardt against Preston in that last fixture. Here's McGilt getting to the byline, plays it down across. Oldfield's equal to it.
Yeah, I think the boys that were commentating that Hume victory over Preston just about gave Steve White best on ground in that particular match. And Hume City, in terms of their record coming into match week 8, they've won 4, a couple of draws and that 1 loss, as we mentioned, to Altona on match day 1. They've beaten South Melbourne, Bentley, Dandenong Thunder and Preston, with the 2 draws against the struggling Green Gully and the weird, indifferent Dandenong City. Hard
to get a read on Dandy City this season. They'll be in action against Bentley Greens. Plenty of intrigue in that one. Nick Tolios, a familiar figure at both clubs, of course, and plenty of players that have played for both sides of the equation. That one kicking off tonight at 5:15. So you'll be able to flick over that one on the Senol NPL Victoria live stream on YouTube once you've finished tuning in here, at least for the second half of that one. Trust that you'll stay with us for the full 90 here, because this is an intriguing fixture between two sides that, as we said, should be playing finals football this year. Here's Hampson looking to play it down the line. This time, uncharacteristically, Diaz was a little slower to react, and making a dead certain of it was Aaron Calver, who puts it out for a throw. So South Melbourne have scored again at BT Connor. So a 3-0 lead for South Melbourne. 2 minutes to go. So a tough afternoon at Reservoir for those Preston Lions fans in the match known as the Big Show. Big showing by South Melbourne today. He's Guest. He's got Sinclair in support. It's well played by Koda Kadura over on the far side. Wins the throw and dispossessed the dangerous Joe Guest. Not a bad feat.
Steve, do you think Josh Parrish is enjoying calling that? I bet he's loving it. Impartial as always.
He's impartial.
Impartial Parrish.
Enjoying the contest. And I'm no doubt impressed by what South Melbourne are offering up in that one, given that the squad's playing in Fiji tomorrow, in Bar in Fiji. It's very impressive. Look at that first touch from Liston Diaz. Taylor Shrivers was able to keep his feet. Ball into the box. Calver's header just about clears the danger. Here's Coyne playing it up the line. There's no one there in a red shirt. So Hall, who was subbed out at half-time in their last league outing, is able to pick this one up. Hall and Boyce have been the preferred central defensive duo of late. Jacob Tratt starting from the bench again today. Boyce had to bide his time on the pine in the early weeks of the season, the first 4 or 5 matches. So Hume with plenty of bodies sitting behind the ball in a block of 4 and 3 and 3. Diaz turns inside and tries to show a clean pair of heels to Shrivers, but he's been dispossessed. Tsukamoto might get it on the second bite of the cherry. He does. Englehart's here. He's got Hampson to beat. Englehart one way, then the other. Good run from Kurdo. He finds a little bit of space, gets back onto the left foot, top of the box. It's going to sit up here for Tsukamoto to the back post. Bingham's flick on and taken by Englehart. He really put his foot through that one. He didn't have much time or space, and he wasn't far away from making it 1-0 for Hume City.
Well, he's been a fascinating acquisition this season for Hume, hasn't he? From Mexico, a 26-year-old. He is Mexican, but was playing last year for FC Rangers in Andorra, of all places. So I don't know if Hume City have scouts set up in the very, very small European country, Andorra. But,
known more for its cyclists, probably in the Pyrenees region there, but. They've made some waves in the footballing circles. I think most of the pitches there are synthetic pitches, but maybe it was a surprise he wasn't recruited to NPL New South Wales given that. But nonetheless, he's been making a great impact here.
A couple of goals and an assist already this season. It's picked up by Diaz in midfield. His shot is deflected. And Kadul has to play this one on its merits and clears it away from the dangerous Kingsley Sinclair, and out of touch, throwing adjacent to the 18-yard box here for Oakleigh. We've played 22 minutes at Jack Edwards Reserve, and we have a foul throw-in. Can you believe? Don't see that every day. Remarkable stuff. Still 0-0. And that chance from Englehart only a moment or so ago, probably the best opportunity that either side has been able to generate so far.
Yeah, the first portion of this first half has flown by. We've had a couple of injury delays. First to Cam McGilt, who was able to eventually wave away the trainers after looking like he might have turned an ankle rather than re-injured his knee that's heavily taped there on his left side. And then a little bit of taping was required for the fingers of Josh Bingham at the other end. Labib involved here. Sinclair, and it comes to nothing though. Tsukamoto is able to play it back to Oldfield. Calvin now under pressure from Guest. The pass was deflected, but it found its way safely to Tsukamoto, the man who played with the Eastern Lions last season. And here's Aiden Coyne. His pass was a little bit behind Kota Kadua, but he was able to show his agility and play it back to Braden Spink, the boy from the Gold Coast. Tsukamoto dropping deep again, as we've seen, and allowing Shrivers to push up. And here is Taylor Shrivers. He's relishing this more attacking role. He plays it into the box, getting inside. Good positioning. Labib, the right back, getting across to cover the danger for Chris Taylor's side. Here's Diaz, a man playing on sheer instinct, and he finds Alex Salmon. Tsukamoto giving chase. Salmon looks to get onto the left side. He's well controlled by Tsukamoto. Well marshalled. He puts it behind for an Oakleigh corner kick. Always a good sight to see NPL Victoria Alex Salmon charging forward with the ball. A player who's capable as much as anyone, if not more, of playing with his back to goal and bringing others into the game. But always exciting when you see the big number 9 running forward with the ball. Joe Guest over to take the outswinger here.
Pressure building here as far as Hume City are concerned. Joe Guest's in-swinger, headed and then turned in by Salmon. It took a couple of deflections before ending up in the back of the nets. And the one man who needs no introduction to Hume City, Alex Salmon, scores again against the boys from Broadmeadows, and Oakleigh snatched the lead 25 minutes into this contest. And Hume, they're not a big fan of Salmon.
Well, Hume won't be happy with this. Trying to clear the danger. I'm not sure if it was off the head of Adisu Bayu, but it just dropped right to the feet of a couple of Oakleigh Cannons players. And who, of course, is quickest to react in the box? None other than Alex Salmon. He loves scoring goals against Hume City. Apart from their last 2 meetings prior to this one, he's scored 5 in the previous 4. I think he might have missed those last 2 games through injury, so it could have been worse. But his scoring streak against Hume City continues. A player that the boys from Broadmeadows would be well and truly sick of the sight of is on the score sheet again here inside 26 minutes at Jack Edwards Reserve. So they had that chance through Engelhardt at the other end not too long ago, and now they find themselves coming from behind here to Hume City.
Fourth goal of the season for Alex Salmon. He did score one of those 3 goals in the Cup on the weekend against Epping City. Good to see him back and fit and firing. He started every match so far this year, just the, well, not just the 18 appearances, but 18 appearances in the league last season for the Cannons. This is his 4th season at Jack Edwards Reserve. One of our great goal scorers, really, in the post-COVID NPL era. And he will have one to chase here. Calvar. Is that a foul? Yes. Salmon not able to disguise that one enough. That attack peters out disappointingly. 31 years of age now is Alex Salmon. We've got another Oakleigh player down who will need to receive some treatments. This might be Connor Hampson, I think, who's just put his hand up to signal to the Oakleigh medical team.
Just watching that goal again, I'm sure Nick Hegarty would have been saying the importance of winning those second balls, especially on a day like this in wet and wintry conditions. Oh, there's just no one at the fall of that one for Hume to block the attempt from Alex Salmon, who, as we know, doesn't need a second invitation.
And it was street smart as well from Salmon, wasn't it? Just fire a shot on goal. It's wet and it's slippery. We've already seen players, struggling to get their bearings and even keep their footing at times. Just get the shot on target.
Keep it low.
See what happens, yeah.
Yep. Here they go again through Guest. Sinclair is riding shotgun down the right-hand side. He's got the legs to get it around Spink almost, but Spink able to slide in and time it well. Puts it behind for another corner kick. So Hume will be mustering up all of their concentration here to make sure they don't have another lapse. But they've had a tough time of it. Apart from that, a chance for Engelhardt midway through this first half. They've arguably started the brighter of the 2 sides in the opening minutes. Guest with the in-swinger this time. Bingham's able to make a strong clearance. And perhaps a second one. Oh, it sits for Hall. Tried to flick it on. Appeals were for an offside flag that never came. Oldfield sends this one high into the sky as the sun tries to break through the clouds.
It's a beautiful day here in Oakleigh.
Torrential rain and wind 1 minute, perfect the next. Welcome to Melbourne's southeast.
If you just got off the plane and arrived in Melbourne today and your friends or family are trying to tell you what the Melbourne's weather is like, they'd be telling you, see, told you. We haven't had all four seasons, have we, just yet? We certainly haven't had summer today.
Saw a nice rainbow yesterday afternoon. It was similar conditions yesterday. I was boasting about April being the nicest weather of the whole year, March, April in Melbourne, and it's let us down the last few days. But hopefully the sun will be shining on your Sunday, perhaps tomorrow, if you're celebrating Orthodox Easter tomorrow. Enjoy your celebrations. Here's the Disu Bayou, who's been a little bit too quiet as far as the Hume City fans would consider in this one as we approach the half-hour mark.
I was just thinking the same, Steve. I think Nick Hegarty and the coaches and the fans, of course, would like him to really put his name into the spotlight here and get rolling. Giving up territory here, Hume. Oh, that was calmly played there by Kelva. Coyne clipping one forward. It's just going to run away from Kota Kadua. I'm sure you're aware by now. Lebanese player, played for Lebanon at the Under-23 Asian Cup earlier this year. What a wonderful opportunity for that young man, and is the absolute nailed-on left back now at Hume City.
Well, we're talking about some of the good recruits in the off-season at the start of the match today, Brent, and he's one that goes without saying. Like the talent that we've seen from him, he's been a rising star at A-League level before doing his knee, representing Western United out at Ironbark Fields against Adelaide United around 18 months ago. And look at him, he's flying now as Bayou does get the flick on this time. Appeals for offside against Bingham. He's won the ball here, no foul, and still he goes, Josh Bingham, and getting a foot in was Boyce to turn it behind for a corner. Plenty of protests from Labib, who feels that he was fouled by the big Hume captain. Just good use of the body, perhaps, Brent?
It looked that way to me. Certainly not to Joey Guest, who I think was the leader of the protestations from the Cannons.
I think as the shove from Bingham was maybe more in the side than the back, was maybe why he got away with it. If it had been square in the back, it definitely would have been blown up for a foul. So Hume with a bit of work to do to get themselves back in this one without O'Kane and White in the matchday squad this afternoon. A little bit of a mountain to climb, and Hume might get the free kick decision this time right in front of that excellent grandstand. And the Oakleigh Cannon substitutes bench, who you will see are rugged up this afternoon. We've seen the subs earlier in the NPL Victoria season sitting around in their vest, and that's and their playing kit, and that's about it. Well, today it's the tracksuit pants are on, the gloves, the beanies over there, as well as the thermals to try and keep warm as we wait for the delivery here. So a set piece opportunity for Hume City as we reach for our sunglasses here. Burkan Kurta to deliver. Plenty of pace on it, and Calver's there, but the flag's up. Well, there was a rousing round of applause from our right here. We'll catch that one on the replay screen again, Brent. It was a very good delivery. Plenty of pace on it. Calver timed the header very well, but did he time his run?
Well, it was an absolute peach of a delivery. Gee, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. There's some Hume City fans here that were certain that was a legal goal. They denied the equaliser.
Well, I can see the Hume social media team were close to side on there. They might have captured a bit of vision there that might tell contrary to what the assistant referee's decision was, perhaps. But we'll stand by the decision now as Hume have got a bit more work to do. Kurta going to ground under the challenge from McGilp. One back by Aidan Coyne. Here's Bingham and now Engelhardt. What a good duel it's been between Engelhardt and Hampson this afternoon as Engelhardt looks to get to the byline. Hampson sliding in. Engelhardt gets around him, plays it across the face of the goal. Labib with the clearance. Bingham was queuing up at the back post just to nod that one over the goal line. Oh, foul by Calver, who's feeling like he's not having much luck at the moment, but there's no way of getting around the fact that that is a yellow card for an intentional foul against the pacey Liston Diaz. First yellow ticket of the afternoon.
Just letting his emotions get the better of him there. It's his third booking of the season, Aaron Kelvar. Diaz has stayed down here. I suspect he's okay. He's just catching his breath after that lung-busting run forward. Kelvar just certainly making a play on the football, but just getting a little bit too much skin. Aaron Kelvar, who did score one of those 3 goals in that win over Preston a fortnight ago. That was also a header from a corner kick. They've got to knuckle down here, Hume, and make sure that they don't go 2 goals down. Guest in towards Jordan Hall that time. The clearing header. Kerdar, Bayou, trying to get it back to Kerdar. He's fouled in the process.
Brent, you have to say the quality of the set-piece delivery today has been of a very high standard, higher than your average NPL Victoria game. Sometimes some of the set pieces can leave a little bit to be desired, but deliveries from the likes of Guest and Kerdar this afternoon have been of the utmost quality. Kelvar unlucky not to have made it 1-1 with that header from Kerdar's delivery. That last Hume City free kick.
I was going to make that point. You've got a 2-time gold medalist and Kerdar, who's a pretty damn good player. Nice pass in towards Engelhardt there from Kelvar. Bayou just leaving it behind. Hall not taking any chances. Neither is Aaron Kelvar, who no doubt is still thinking about that header that he thinks should have brought Hume City back level. And, of course, now he's got to walk the tightrope on that yellow card for almost 2/3 of the match.
Well, that's going to be a yellow you fancy here for Campbell Strong, is it? Well, you might get away with it.
Brings down Engelhardt, who was on another marauding run forward.
Looked intentional to me.
Yeah, cynical, I think, is the word that we use. That is quite a strange decision.
Well, you can see the Hume boys. They can't believe that the yellow card hasn't been produced there for Campbell Strong. Oh, the New Zealander's going to get a little bit lucky there. Getting a stern talking to nonetheless.
You don't normally get a talking to this long that is not also accompanied with a yellow card.
It would almost be a secondary form of double jeopardy if you got the long talking to and then a yellow card was also produced as well.
I still thought that might have been coming, but here's another great opportunity. It's almost a mirror image for him of that last set piece whipped in by Kerdar.
Well, this one will be into the wind. The wind is blowing straight across from the western side, so we'll see what Kerdar can muster up here, but that one is holding up in the wind a little bit, and Bingham does his best, but once he trapped the ball, it went behind him, and it was hard to really get any power on the shot there to test Tom Manos, who hasn't had too much to do this afternoon. Inside 10 minutes plus stoppages till the interval, so an intriguing one here. Oakleigh Cannons holding the ace card with their goal from Alex Salmon after Hume was unable to clear a Joe Guest corner kick on 26 minutes. Here's Engelhardt. He's been an eye-catching player for Hume so far this afternoon. He's not got a lot of allies as he's forced into a 2v1 here. He's going to be able to look back and try and find Shrivers. He decides to go inboard and somehow manages to squeeze it through a couple of Oakleigh players and finds Kerdar. Bingham goes to ground. Was there a shove from Boyce? Oh, it stacks on the mill there, but play on is the call. Bayou getting involved. He's got Kadua in support. Tries to lead Sinclair a merry dance. Oh, the clearance from Labib was not the prettiest. And eventually Oakleigh see it out of play, but a heart-in-mouth moment there for the Cannons.
That was a terrific battle over on that far side between, I think it was Sinclair and Kadua. Well, they've played well enough in this first half, Hume City, to suggest that they have a goal in them. And they've had one ruled out already for offside. They have proved a real threat this season from set pieces. Burkhan Kerdar, as we meander our way towards half-time with the corner that is taken short and taken disappointingly as it deflects all the way backwards, and Hume will have a throw in, and that's taken all of the sting out of a potential attack there for Hume City.
Well, if Mark Ivkovic is tuning in, that might appear on the short corner police on the socials. Keep an eye out for that one. But, yeah, Hume City just nudging their nose in front, 3 corners to Oakleigh's 2 so far. But Oakleigh have made it count from one of their corner kicks being the route to goal, the goal that separates the two sides from Alex Salmon. And here's Calver, the man who thought he'd levelled things up before he was ruled offside. And here's Tsukamoto, clever player, creative, dropping back from midfield in between the two central defenders to try and get a numerical mismatch further up the park, and they go up the line. The sun glare across the stadium here at Oakleigh. Nathan giving you a great look at the action nonetheless through the camera on this side. Challenging location to film from here as Shriver's playing in this right back role. I'm still getting used to seeing him playing as an attacking fullback. It's not something we've seen before from Taylor Shriver's too much. Here's Kota Kadua. So everyone behind the ball here for the Cannons, just saying, if you want to beat us, you can try and break us down, but we're ready for you to make the mistake and hit you on the break. Sinclair's dropping to the opposite flank to head that one away.
Hume back in possession. They're having a good little patch here. The boys in red. The last sort of 5-6 minutes or so have been played on their terms. Bayou taking on all comers, just showing a little bit too much to Labib, who was also on the score sheet in that cup victory last week. A deft little flick on there by the head of Alex Salmon. Diaz for a bit of contact after he disposed of the football, and he was disposed of as well. And a foul here in a promising position for the Cannons, and more work to do for the medical crew, perhaps.
He's gone down again. Pure speculation here, because I don't think we have these stats, but I would have to say that if there was a most fouls suffered stat in NPL Victoria, Liston Diaz would be probably at the top of the list of someone who wins these attacking free kicks and just creates opportunities for Oakleigh, but also stops the momentum of Hume, who are having a good spell in the last 5 minutes, as you mentioned, Brent. So he's back up on his feet and hobbling away from the scene of the crime. Pretty content with the way he's operating so far in the first 40 minutes here. Oakleigh Cannons leading this one in the Senol NPL Victoria men's competition. Steve Curtin and Brent Sternberg with you this afternoon. Hope you're enjoying the action. Two top sides in this competition. And Oakleigh Cannons, they can actually displace Hume, who come into this match in second, Hume, but Oakleigh outside the top 6 in 7th. They could displace Hume on goal difference this afternoon if they can get the points. Well, Joe Guest tried the direct route for goal here. It's Guest. He lobs it up to the back post area. Boyce was there. Hume with plenty of players back to deny the attack, but the second wave is coming through. Alex Salmon cross to the back post area, flicked away by Bingham, and Oakleigh are happy to receive another corner kick opportunity over from the far side. Really should have brought the visor cap this afternoon, Brent, but that sun's going to drop behind the clouds and make things a little easier here. So Guest to deliver this one. Another dangerous moment for Hume. Everyone back except for Engelhardt as the corner comes in across the face of the goal dangerously. That could have gone anywhere. And fortunately, as far as Hume are concerned, it's out for a goal kick.
Diaz, I think it might have been with that final touch, just trying to flick it on back into harm's way. Hume City survived. They've had a lot of set pieces, Oakleigh, but they haven't really created too many genuine opportunities outside of the goal from Alex Salmon.
Yeah, Oldfield forced into one good save from Liston Diaz is the only real moment where he's been called into action to directly block an attempt on goal, other than having to knock away some crosses from the Oakleigh Cannons wide players.
Throw in taken it halfway.
2 balls on the pitch here.
We love it.
There's one to tick off the bingo card.
So we'll have a drop ball situation here. How proactive are they going to be in these closing minutes in this first half, Hume? I wonder how desperate are they to restore parity. Potentially risking, we know how well Oakleigh can play on the counter, potentially risking going down 2-0. I think
we'll see more of the same from Hume in the final minutes. The interchange of positions being good from them. So they just need to get the ball maybe out wide, that combination of Kadua and Bayou over on that far side, get those boys into the action. Chris Engelhardt's been very busy on this near side, hasn't he?
A terrible pass a moment ago from Jordan Hall. Yeah, close to best on the pitch in the first half. Engelhardt. Diaz has been pretty good as well. Guest trying to bring it down. Tees it up for McGilp, who put his laces right through it, and that wasn't all that far away, you know. Just curling away from that near uprights and behind. As far as Hume City are concerned, gratefully behind.
Well, there's almost shades of that Liston Diaz goal against Avondale a couple of weeks ago. It didn't quite come to him from as much of a lofty position, but he did come in and just hit it first time. He reacted well, sliced across it. He was hoping it would go in that top left corner. It didn't quite. So Oldfield's going to send this one long over the halfway line. Hume want to try and lock this in the Oakleigh final third, but Campbell Strong's going to send up a bit of a rainmaker here, headed on by Kingsley Sinclair. That's a quality first touch by Salmon, but he had too many players lurking around him in red shirts. Well played, Engelhardt. Great skills, and Kurdar's away here. And what a challenge by Cam McGilp, who's somehow managed to take the ball. Well, the Hume fans thought it was a foul on Burkhan Kurdar, who's still staying down behind the play here. So there's going to be some frustrated Hume players coming to have a chat here to match referee Yanni Miletis. And leading the protest is the man himself, Burkhan Kurdar, who thought he was fouled by Cam McGilp. See that one again. McGilp quick to point to the ball, as all good defenders do after they put a tackle in. Or defensive midfielders in the case of Cam McGilp. So it's a Hume throw over on the far side. Kadua to take. Rising high was Labib. And Campbell Strong's won himself a free kick here. He's been the villain as far as Hume City are concerned as Campbell Strong. And this time he's on the end of the decision from the referee going his way. So not long to go now in the shadows of half-time as the sun gradually falls behind the grandstand here in Oakleigh South at Jack Edwards Reserve. Alex Salmon's goal on 26 separating the two sides. Cam McGilp still walking with a limp as well. You just wonder if we'll see him come back out for the second 45.
We're heading towards first half stoppage time, of which I can imagine we'll have a little chunk. We've had quite a few stoppages through injuries and the goal as well. We've had another one just here as we head towards the expiration of the 45th minute. 3 is the magic number. To be honest, I thought we might get one or two more than that. We always seem to get more at the end of the second half, don't you?
No doubt about that.
So here's Manos taking the free kick for the Cannons. Up to the edges of the 18-yard box. Headed away by Spink. Hall. Oh, up and down we go. Kiadar and Tsukamoto go down. Queen's header, Labib. Trying to create something. Labib's just trying to keep it away this time from Bayou. Guest. First time release, beautiful. Sinclair, and now Alex Salmon. Late opportunity potentially for Oakleigh. Salmon saw 4 red shirts descend on him. Labib, a little loose. Kiadar, perhaps Hume City now looking for this equaliser. Kadua rolling forward. Oh, Bayou, I don't think he knew that the opponent was rolling on in and ready to steal the football from him. That was Boyce. Back and forth we go in first half stoppage time. Deflects here, back for Boyce. Salmon. Guest. First time release looking for Diaz. It was rather ambitious. Hume City take their turn rolling forward.
Yeah, that was a quality interception from Boyce. Disappointing from Adisu Bayou, a player who's shown his qualities. He hasn't been on today. Boyce steaming out of the defence, and good interchange of position from Oakleigh that time as we saw Campbell Strong drop in and deputise in central defence briefly while Brodie Boyce made a nice forward run. Brodie Boyce, the player who has got himself on the score sheet earlier this season. He came off the bench in a more advanced role than he's playing today. So much of that 3 minutes of added time has elapsed here. Just about last roll of the dice if Hume want to go into the dressing rooms level. Bayou, that's some good attack on the football by him. Engelhardt, can he get the cross in here? Again, it's got Hampson to beat. He goes back onto the left. Engelhardt, he went in the shot that time. Jordan Hall with the block. Manos not needing to be called into action that time, but he's got a few things to say to his defenders here. Keep the concentration going, boys, all the way until the whistle for half-time. So just about last attack here for Hume before the half-time interval. Curta gets the ball in quickly at the back post. It's Adisu Bayou. Has it crossed the line? Surely it has. And surely it's 1-1 at Jack Edwards. Adisu Bayou is a player who needed to lift, and he's well and truly lifted here. He's lifted his side back into the contest. 1-1.
Well, they will be bitterly disappointed with that, Oakleigh. But once again, Hume City able to crack open an opportunity from the set piece right up against half-time. As we mentioned a couple of times in this first half, it's felt like they deserved a goal, Hume City. They have absolutely played well enough to be back on level pegging.
I think Adisu Bayou was claiming that one. It may have, Manos had tried to save it into the post. It might have already crossed the line. It was knocked over from close range in any case. Our stats man's given it to Adisu Bayou.
Yes. So that is Bayou's 5th goal of the season, and it's a critical one to bring Hume City back level right up against half-time. And the Oranges are going to taste a little bit sweeter now for the Hume City boys as we have parity at the break here at Jack Edwards. A 26th minute strike for Alex Salmon put the Cannons in front. Hume City, who for most of that 45, I feel, looked the more threatening team on the attack. And in the waning seconds of the first half from a corner kick, a scrambling one, we'll give it to Adisu Bayou, who brings Hume City back level. And we are at half-time where we started, even Stevens. Brent Sternberg and Steve Curtin here with you on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. And we're looking forward to the second 45 already. We'll have our half-time oranges and come back for the second half in just a moment. The score here at the intermission at Jack Edwards Reserve. Oakleigh 1, Hume City 1. Well, welcome back to Jack Edwards Reserve, everybody. We're set to go for the second half here. All things even. At 1 goal apiece, Alex Salmon scoring for Oakleigh in the 25th minute. And then in the 48th minute, the third minute of stoppage time, right up against half-time, Atasu Bayou scoring for Hume City to make sure that things were level at half-time. Brent Sternberg and Steve Curtin here with you as Oakleigh are on the attack immediately. Guess to Salmon, whose header, well, there's huge appeals here for a handball, not given, and instead Oakleigh, who have come roaring out of the sheds at half-time, will have to settle for a corner kick.
Oh, well, it's a cold afternoon
Hello, Steve.
in Oakleigh. It's a cold afternoon in Oakleigh, Brennan. Hume City were nearly caught cold after scoring with virtually the last touch. Oh, Salmon's header there might have been going in. It's come off the arm of Braden Spink, did it? And, wow, guess with the corner kick here, delivered in. It's well away by Braden Spink.
Who was the guilty party, I think, on that maybe not handball.
Looked like it was. It was very hard for the central referee, Yanni Miletus, to see. The assistant referee had something of a view of it from this side, but it just happened so quickly. And the outlook, to be honest, the arm wasn't extended out in an unnatural position, so that might have been enough for Hume to get away with that one. But, wow, what a way that would have been to have equalised in the third and final minute of first half stoppage time and then concede in the opening seconds. Here's Bayou again. He runs into a sea of navy blue. Referee from Yanni Miletus. It's Burkhan Kurda who's down again. He's been brought to the floor a number of times this afternoon. He's holding that right ankle, beating the floor as well. Let's hope he's okay to get back up and continue. And this will be a handy position for Hume as Manos is not wasting any time organising a three-man wall, possibly a four-man wall. A three it will be. So an eventful opening. We've hardly had a chance to catch our breath since the players come back out from the dressing rooms.
Only played 2 minutes of the second half. Feels like an eternity. There was one change, by the way, made at half-time. Oakleigh have withdrawn Cam McGilp, who went down very early in the first half, and former Hume City player Joseph Ford has come on to replace him. Hume City as you were to start this second half. So Bekan Kieda and Chris Engelhart over the dead ball. Kieda, who did score from the set piece in the Cup last weekend in that big win over Riversdale. Is this the moment Hume City snatched the lead? Four-man wall for the Cannons. Bekan Kieda through the wall, fumbled by the goalkeeper, saved at the second time of asking, end the third, and Oakleigh clear the decks.
Wow, triple save from Manos. Comes up big when it mattered most there. The experienced goalkeeper saving the free kick. It was an awkward height initially. And then the follow-ups from Calver initially. It was such an awkward height. It bounced right in front of him. Calver on the follow-up, first save, and then Bingham with the second attempt. Well, they haven't had too many shots on target for the afternoon, Hume City, and Tom Manos has just made 3 saves in a row. He's pretty happy with himself too, I think, and so he should be. So it's one of those days where you really don't want those balls, those shots from free kicks bouncing right in front of you. Here's Labib. Away by Calver. So it looks like Labib might have been pushed further forward. A bit of a reshuffle. Kingsley Sinclair, who was playing on the right wing, moving into central midfield. We'll pause that thought as Liston Diaz is coming through and winning a corner kick now at the other end. So an end-to-end start. We're saying Kingsley Sinclair, the player that plays multiple roles in Chris Taylor's system. He's been playing on the right flank recently, moving back into central midfield with the injured Cam McGilp going off at half-time, something that we thought we might have seen coming after he sustained an injury to, we think, his ankle on his opposite leg to what he has the strap knee. Off at half-time, Joseph Ford into right back, Labib moving up onto the right wing. Labib getting his first goal since coming across from WA in the Cup in midweek. This one's going to hang in the air. Boyce was lurking dangerously at the back post. And again, it's Braden Spink. He's not the tallest defender in that central defensive role that he plays, but he is very good aerially, and we saw that again there. He plays tall, you would say, Brent.
It's something that I noticed actually in that match against Preston 2 weeks ago. Only diminutively built, certainly by centre-back standards, but gives you a real threat in the air. Oakleigh building pressure. This is Boyce, who's happy to retreat. 5 shots to 4 in the first half in favour of Oakleigh. 2 shots to 1 in terms of shots on target. So Hume with just the 1 shot on target in that first 45. Felt like they were much better value, though, for their 4 shots and 1 on target. Boyce, all the way back to Manos, who is responsible for this match still being 1-1. Sinclair on the turn. Timely interception there from Aaron Kelvar, who had a goal taken away by the offside flag in that first half. Hotly fought after throw in, going the way of the boys in blue, and taken quickly. Diaz is chasing. Kelvar pumps it right up into that murky cloud that hovers over the new grandstand here at Jack Edwards. Bingham, he's back to goal, overwhelmed by the Oakleigh numbers. An errant pass into midfield. Good defending there by Joseph Ford. Strongly built fullback. And there's one to Steve Curtin to catch off the boot of Braden Spink.
Oh, I am tall, Brent, but not quite that tall to be able to reach that ball off the roof. Good first impact on the game for Joseph Ford. He'll be keen to make a good impression against his former side coming on at half-time. And you can see over on the far side, Cam McGill just hobbling. He might have got the ice pack ready to go on that right ankle, which was what we suspected. Might need to get him himself some nice warm tracksuit pants as well if he's going to be sitting on the bench there. But yeah, he's got the slides on there. He's definitely feeling the pinch. So it's a shame to see Cam McGill, who's such a good player. You mentioned Brent missing some of the start of the season, working his way back into the team, and hopefully he's not out for too long as he's just sitting on the bench, elevating that right ankle. So wishing Cam McGill a speedy recovery. He's one of those players that we enjoy watching at NPL Victoria. He's not a big man, but he gives a lot of bang for his buck. If he was a boxer, he'd be very dominant in his weight division.
I'll be hoping that Cameron is available for their next match. It's a league outing, a big one, next Sunday. Away to Lakeside to play South Melbourne. And will be spurred on by that earlier victory today over Preston, and they might be further spurred on by whatever happens tomorrow.
Busy schedule coming up for Oakleigh too. South Melbourne next Sunday, then they've got a midweek game against Sydenham Park in round 5 of the Cup. And then Bentley Greens back home here on a Friday night, and then trip out to Green Gully after that. So it's that time of year where the football does start to come thick and fast. A lot of us are enjoying a nice week off for Easter last weekend, and a lot of these boys were still playing Cup football, round 4 of the New Balance Doherty Cup last week.
These are 2 teams that got through. Not all of our NPL teams did get through unscathed. I think we had a small handful of teams eliminated. We'll stay with the Hume attack here for the moment. Bayou trying to get around Joseph Ford. Well defended by the former Hume player. Back here for Kadua, who's shaping to cross in towards that back post. Deeper still. Shrivers throws himself at the dipping football, but it's come off him last and behind for a goal kick. Yes, some cup sets last week.
Green Gully bowing out to the Golden Valley Suns, and just happens to be Golden Valley Suns drawing their Northern Victorian rivals Murray United in the next round of the Cup. That's just great the way that's turned out. Great to see regional football clubs getting the chance to represent themselves into the latter stages of the Cup competition in round 5, and at least one of them will be in round 6.
Hume have drawn a very interesting match in the Cup in a couple of weeks' time. They've got Brunswick Juventus, who are in the 2nd division.
They're in good form too.
Yes, they won again last night.
Great winning streak.
Yeah, they've won 6 from their first 8 matches, Juve. They've got some good players playing for them this season. Long-time Heidelberg players, Dom Feller and Sean Ellis. Kenny Athew is there as well. James Exidius, Joey Katabian. So it was a bit of a walk in the park against Riversdale. That next Cup clash will not be easy. Bayou clips it into the 18-yard box. Bingham doesn't go after it. Bayou loses possession, and Labib looks to get some pace into this Oakleigh attack. Labib carries it forward. Here's Salmon lunging over the hurdling Spink. He doesn't make any contact with the hulking Oakleigh striker. Kedar plays the ball out of play.
Well, a key component of that phase of play was referee Yanni Miletus, who expertly played the dummy through the feet there, let the ball go through the legs, and Labib was the beneficiary, able to charge forward. Good to see the match officials. You can see that they've played a lot of football in their younger years, and they've still got the skills there.
Boy, look out. Just quickly on that matchup with Brunswick UVA in the Cup for Hume, that will be at Naziol Stadium. That will be on the Tuesday, April 21. So midweek cup clash under lights there, and that should be a very competitive, exciting match.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. Sandwich between matches against St Albans and Melbourne City for Hume.
We're looking to go on a cup run again this season. You mentioned that Hume beat Oakleigh in the cup last season. Of course, their only major trophy victory, Hume, come in 2019 in the cup competition. And we were talking during the week, Steve, it's been a long time since a team has done the League Cup double here in Victoria, as Hampson, the opportunity to cross. Oh, no, the ball went out of play. The throw in.
Yeah, already out. Yeah, it is surprising. It was a really good stat that you brought up the other day, Brent, that no team has done that. You think at some point in time there's been some really dominant teams in previous seasons. Oakley's been one of them. Avondale's been one of them. South Melbourne, good in the cup last year. Good run, but couldn't cover in time to contest in the league after a slow start. But it's surprising that it hasn't played out. Heidelberg, obviously, the other team I haven't mentioned there. Look at this skill from Labib. Surprising that no one has done. Maybe this will be the year that it happens, though, Brent, as Labib's got plenty of space and time, and he maybe could have taken a bit longer to pick his pass, as that shot from Kingsley Sinclair is blocked away by Aaron Calver. The sky is just turning a little bit murky again here, as we can expect the next burst of wind and rain to come across. Not your typical autumn weather in Melbourne. It's more befitting of one of those spring days where we end up thinking we're going to get some nice sunshine, and wind and rain takes hold as Guest gets a good ball into the back post. It's over the top of Hampson.
Just on Labib, he's looking electric, isn't he, after being pushed a little bit further up the pitch with Joseph Ford coming in?
He's enjoying that role, isn't he? He's got a lot of pace, and maybe that's something we could see Chris Taylor deploy, a system that gives him more flexibility if he is to be playing future games at right back, more freedom to be covered to allow him to make those runs from deep, and it just could add an extra dimension to their attack. He does get forward from right back when he plays there, but maybe not as much as he would like to himself, and I assume that's based on the defensive tactics that are deployed on the Cannons side.
Hume playing around at the back. Chris Oldfield with the artificial light bouncing off his skull. Long ball forward for Bingham. Nice touch to get it into the path of Kirdar, who rides a challenge. Kirdar to the edge of the 18-yard box. Engelhardt denied by the frame of the goal, and then turned in by Adisu Bayou, who has a brace for Hume City, and the boys from Broadmeadows have turned it right round and take the lead here at Jack Edwards.
Wow, Adisu Bayou makes it 6th of the season. Engelhardt unlucky not to have got the goal credited to himself. His first touch was great. Got it out of his feet onto that left foot. It came straight back.
Manos just couldn't recover in time, could he?
So many times you see players getting a rebound of a shot that's fairly ferocious like that, and it just doesn't quite sit for them, especially when they're coming at the ball at such a rate of knots as Adisu Bayou. But it shows you the form that he's in this season. He read that ball off the post, and there was only one outcome, and that was him to give Hume the lead for the first time this afternoon on the hour mark. So cometh the hour, cometh the man here. Adisu Bayou, the player of the month of March, is on fire in NPL Victoria. He is worth the price of admission alone. He had a slow start to this one, but he's turned it on. Guest is offside here as the ball broke for Alex Salmon to try and pull the trigger from distance. Well, we really hope you're enjoying this one. Senol NPL Victoria, round 8 of the competition. And Brent, you have to say this is a future September contest when you look at these two sides, who you would be hard-pressed to see them not both playing finals this year.
Yeah, well, Oakleigh have they've only missed the finals once in the NPL era. I was seeing earlier this week as Bayou can't get his way onto that one. That was in 2015. Are they going to expect me to get that one? I'm going to get rid of my headset.
There we go. We'll just take over as Brent is off. Now we've got the youngster there. Sorry, Brent. We'll have to just pop the headset back on. And now, of course, we've got 2 balls on the pitch. But thank you, young man, for fetching the football. Almost bounced all the way up here to Nathan's camera tripod. And our audio mixer up here on the table as Adisu Bayou's on a hat-trick now and well defended by Joseph Ford.
I was thinking about retrieving the ball, and then I got the death stare from Alex Salmon, and I thought, I'd better get it. That young fella beat me to it. Well done, son.
Wouldn't be the first person to backpedal after getting an Alex Salmon death stare out on the pitch. Now it's going to be Kurta to supply the corner kick here, so all of a sudden, it's Hume who are holding all the aces as he drills this one into the back post area. Well played, Manos. It sits for Coyne, who hit it really sweetly. And it's another save by Manos. It was going in for certain.
They're on the ropes here, Oakleigh.
Oh, all of a sudden, Oakleigh, who'd come out of the blocks after half-time, almost taking the lead back, now find themselves really on the ropes. You're spot on, Brent. They are under the pump here. That's a great volley by Aidan Coyne. Hit that so sweetly. And I saw it off the boot. In it comes again. It's off the crossbar, this time from Aaron Kelver, who can't believe he hasn't scored this afternoon. One denied by the assistant referee's flag and one denied by the crossbar as Joe Guest has won an all-important free kick here for the Cannons over near the players' race. And they need to wrestle back some momentum here because they're at risk of going down by a couple of goals after leading only moments before the halftime whistle. Shriver's at full stretch, and as I said, it's surprising to see him playing in that right back role, but he's been really serviceable and he's enjoyed getting forward as well, almost like a wide target man, the big central defender. It's almost a bit jarring when you see a central defender making runs up the touchline, but Taylor Shriver's has really fitted the bill this afternoon.
Trading corners here at Jack Edwards. Oakleigh going in search of an equaliser here. In towards Salmon. Doesn't get past Tsukamoto. Clears the area. And played further afield. Another Cannons, Labib. And back for Manos. How crucial does his triple save look now? Could have been even worse for the Cannons potentially. Right here, right now, they're on the prowl. Strong inboard for Guest. And then up comes Sinclair in towards the 6-yard box. Labib can't quite control it. And then away by the Hume player. That's yours, Steve. Protect the... oh, dear. Quick before Alex Salmon gives you a death stare. Well thrown back there by Steve Curtin. It come at a cost, though, didn't it, that ball retrieval?
Knocked down both of our effects mics that we weren't able to deploy because of the wet weather. But the first time in 6 years of commentary, 7 years, that we've managed to get a stat while we're on the call as well. So, yeah, it's a little item for the scrapbook there, Brent.
Bingham's head up. Strong. It's gotten better as the afternoon has worn on. Little clip over the top, and Labib has slipped away from Kadua. Now he's got to get past Spink. Manages to keep the ball alive, but just loses his footing. Back in the grateful gloves of Chris Oldfield. Oakleigh Cannons 1, Hume City 2. We remind you, Hume City have not beaten Oakleigh in the league for 4 years. Victory tonight will keep the boys in red right up the top of the table through match week 8. Labib takes it away from Bingham. Oakleigh, who scored first after 25 minutes through Alex Salmon. Hume City with the next 2 goals to snatch the lead. Coyne, who was not far away only a couple of minutes ago from doubling the Reds' lead. Diaz, haven't seen too much of Diaz in this second half. He was ever present in the first. He's got a throw in here for the Cannons on the far side.
Yeah, he had a great first half. Quite right to mention that, Brandon. Oh, he's a moments player. That's why he was such a good impact sub when he was at Avondale. And Hume have to be cautious. They've had a really good flow of momentum in this second half, but the cushion is only the solitary goal. So Liston Diaz is well and truly the danger man here as we see Oakleigh building up down the left-hand side. Sinclair gets the cross in on the right foot. It's going to bounce in the penalty area, and eventually it's going to run harmlessly through. Labib was lurking, but Chris Oldfield able to come and claim here, and they look to play out short again. So they're trying to bait this Oakleigh defensive block and try and find a way through. And it's that previous goal that they scored, very symptomatic of that kind of play where they try and stretch out the defensive block of the opposition and play long and direct balls on the floor, up the park towards Kerdar and Bingham, and try and create little pockets of space for players to play through the defensive lines of teams. And it's a good brand of football to watch too from Nick Haggerty's side.
We know that Chris Taylor's a manager that doesn't go to the bench all that often. He has once in this match out of necessity. They're chasing the game, Steve. Do you think Taylor will dip into the reserves in these final 20 minutes or so?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Adam Djuradovic thrown into the mix soon. He's been a handy asset for Chris Taylor coming off the bench this season to good effect a couple of times. Scoring against St Albans and Georgie's as well. And that's exactly what we're going to see right now. So there you go. I didn't get any late mail on that one. I just happened to guess that was going to happen.
No inside trading there.
So that's the end of proceedings for Liston Diaz, who will be a little bit disappointed with the way this one's panned out. He was playing some top quality football in the first half. His shift is over, so it's going to be a straight swap on the left wing. So it is indeed Adam Djuradovic, the 22-year-old. 6 goals for him in Oakleigh colours so far last season and this. Forward by Oldfield. Over the top, Disu Bayou's almost in behind here, away by Hall. Coyne. Bayou with the turn, dispossessed by Labib. Well played by the West Aussie, and he's going to try and turn defence into attack here. He burns one, then another, keeps his feet. Avoided the sliding challenge. Salmon trying to play it across to the back post area, and good agility from the 35-year-old shot stopper there. He got back and claimed that one. Look at this. Speaking of trying to turn defence into attack, here's Engelhardt getting to the byline. He's got Bingham in the middle. Chris Engelhardt, he's already hit the post a short time ago. Well played by Connor Hampson. And they're going to be able to walk it out of defence here through Kingsley Sinclair. So an exciting brand of football. Top quality skills on show from both sets of players out there this afternoon. Here's Sinclair. He's going to turn and play forward. He's got the substitute Djuradovic to try and run into this one. Calver was alert to the danger.
7th appearance this season for Djuradovic, all of them off the bench, but was in the starting 11 for that cup tie against Epping City last week. Here is strong Labib trying to tee it up for his teammate there on the edge of the 18-yard box. That was Alex Salmon, who's going in search of his second goal, just rising over the crossbar.
So just over 20 minutes to go in this one, and you mentioned Hume City, no wins in the league in this fixture since 4 years ago. Their last win was at this venue. Sam Ford was the goal scorer on 82 minutes back in August 2022. So certainly a long time between drinks, but could they lift the curse today against Oakleigh in the league? We will see over the next 20 minutes of football coming away on the Senol NPL Victoria live stream. Thanks for your company on a cold Saturday afternoon, which is turning into evening here as we approach 6 o'clock local time in Oakleigh South at Jack Edwards Reserve. It's Hume City who are growing in confidence as Burkhan Kurta is on the ball. Oakleigh winning it back though. Labib, here's Guest. Hampson is motoring forward from left back. Yanni Miletis almost got a touch again there. Everyone behind the ball now for Hume.
The lights come on in the stairways of the grandstand on the far side, just to elevate the amphitheatre feel of Jack Edwards Reserve.
You can feel the ambience from this side of the venue, Brent, when they come on. They're quite bright.
Yeah.
No danger of missing a step on the incline over there on the grandstand.
Oakleigh playing the ball around the back. Boyce first forward, and then Boyce, and now Hall. Back to Brodie Boyce. Oakleigh plot the equalising goal. Ford inboard, but misses Joe Guest. Bingham lays it off for Kirdar. Bayou smelling a hat trick, trying to get past Ford. Eventually, he's brought down in the 18-yard box. No shouts for a penalty. And away comes Kingsley Sinclair. It's become quite a stretched football match already. There's still the best part of 20 minutes to play. Sinclair trying to find Labib, who in his endeavours to try and win the football, I think, has been penalised. Foul going Hume City's way.
I don't know the beep test or the 2K time trial for Chris Taylor's men at the times, but it's interesting. Kingsley Sinclair putting in a real shift of the high intensity sprints on the right flank. Since he's moved to central midfield, he's been everywhere. He's been out wide left, wide right, as we just saw there, getting back, doing defensive duties and pushing up to support the attack. He is covering so much ground. He looks a little bit spent just a moment as he sucks in the big ones. We've got a goal, another goal around the grounds on this Saturday feast of football that we're enjoying from Frank Holohan as well, Brent.
Yes, Dandy City have taken the lead at home, 1-0. So that would be a big result for Dandy City. They've sort of just been going through the motions, haven't they, this season? And Bentley back in the top division. I think they were third on the table coming into match week 8, Bentley. So they certainly would have gone into that match on recent form as the favourite, the Greens.
Incredible early concede. That's only their 4th goal they've conceded as well this season, Bentley, in their 8th outing. It's tremendous defensive record from the promoted side.
Yeah, they were terrific last season as well. I think I mentioned this stat a couple of weeks ago. They only conceded 20 goals in the league last season, Bentley, which was their fewest in a campaign since the year 2000. So historically stingy, and it looks like that has carried over into the NPL this season.
Well, there's still 17 minutes to go plus stoppage time here. We're not reading the last rights to Oakleigh in this one. Here's a chance for Adam Juranovic, levelling things up. Oh, just when we were about to mention that the man that collects the aluminium cans was lurking around here, Oakleigh, they haven't given up. They've got this one back to 2-2, and it's the super sub, Adam Juranovic. The smiling assassin strikes again. What a game we've got here.
Well, that's a really disappointing goal for Hume City to give away. Just trying to play out from the back, and then one errant pass. Duranovic pounces and scores.
Well, they've been so good playing out from the back, but really caught out on that occasion, Brent.
Yeah, played themselves into all sorts of strife. And there is just under 17 minutes now for one of these teams to try and find a goal and snatch the 3 points. Duranovic with his 3rd goal of the season as that ball just left the field of play. So Oakleigh 2, Hume City 2. Nick Hegarty and the managers, I'd imagine, would have been furious on the sidelines conceding that goal. Felt like they were on top, not just literally on the scoreboard, but in general play as well. For as good as they've been this season, Hume, they have been leaking goals. A couple of really disappointing goals that they let Preston score a fortnight ago. Gathered in midfield by Hume. Back in possession. Labib keeping Kota Couture honest. Oldfield wants no piece of that. Bayou's header straight up and down. Well brought down by Boyce. Coyne's awkward attempted clearance goes backwards. And back at the feet now of Chris Oldfield as we head towards the final quarter hour here at Jack Edwards Reserve. This portion of the match in which Oakleigh have scored a ton of goals this season. 5 already this year in the final quarter hour. That's the most.
That's alarming reading for the Hume City fans tuning in here.
Here's Spink. Looks like he might have gone back into the back four potentially. Braden Spink. Throw in here to be taken by Kadua. Now Coyne. Guest in his pocket. Here's Tsukamoto. Shrivers. I wonder how much longer they'll keep Shrivers on the pitch for. It's his first start for a few weeks. Of course, missed all of last season with that serious knee injury. Oakleigh happy to sit off here, at least for the moment. Back forward, Engelhart just sit down, away by Sinclair, and now Labib, maybe with some space to roam here.
Sinclair's ball finds Ford. Striding forward, looking for some options ahead of him. The energetic Sinclair is that man. He can switch it out wide to the other fullback. He can gallop forward here as Connor Hampson. Ball into the box. Labib's there. Opportunity fell for Salmon. It was well blocked by Calver. Fully committed, it was Sinclair. He receives it from Joe Guest. He's got Ford to his left. Joseph Ford would love to supply a telling cross against his old team. And full stretch. Parallel to the ground was Spink. It's going to come back in, and it's a little bit of an awkward one for Calver, who turns it behind.
I think he wanted Chris Oldfield to come and collect it, but just holding up in that breeze that has picked up, and you'll hear it in our effects mic. Hume are about to go to the bench, but Oldfield just didn't really want to come out and grab it and concede a corner.
Godfrey DeBella's been waiting to come on next to the fourth official for some minutes, but they're not going to make the change now while they're defending a corner. It comes into the back post. Danger here for Hume. And it's just gone past the post. A sea of bodies at the back post. The ball almost disappeared out of sight, and you're almost waiting for the net to ripple. It'd be hard on Hume, who found themselves 2-1 ahead not long ago, conceding a goal that they'll be kicking themselves over conceding when there wasn't really much of a threat. Masters of their own downfall playing out from the back. In comes the corner. It hangs in the air. Header was by Juratovic, the substitute and goal scorer of the equaliser. So the wind increasing here as got notes flying all over the place, and we will get that sub now. Godfrey DeBelle will be entering the fray, back from international duty and making his international debut. He gets the opportunity to come on and replace Josh Bingham. So somewhat like for like change in the Hume City attack here. Godfrey DeBelle, what can he offer in the final few minutes of that one as Nick Haggerty decides to go to his bench? He's still got other options on the bench, including John Paikopoulos, Munir Badus, Frank Busasa, Zahi Addis. The outfield options. For Chris Taylor, he's still got some other options on the bench as well. No goalkeeper, no Zach Bowling on the bench today. Plenty of outfield options. Jacob Tratt, Mark Petheriotis, Brandon Giaconeri, Thomas Alessandrados. He has already made 2 subs. Not too often that you see Chris Taylor, the man who's made more subs in the match at any point than the opposition coach, but forced into one change and then another tactical one. Headed by Shrivers, who you mentioned, Brent, he's coming back from that hamstring injury after missing last season with the ACL. Looking maybe a little tired after playing in that demanding right back role that requires a lot of repeat sprints up and down the pitch on the touchline. Kurdar plays it straight to his opposing number 10. That's a raking switch of play. Labib, his first touch lets him down, and Hume can get some bodies back. But there's still a chance here. He's got Kota Kadua to beat. Salmon's closed down. Guest hits it first time. Joe Guest does it again. Oakleigh have turned this around. This seesawing battle. Joe Guest from the edge of the area. First time shot. And that is the quality you expect from the Englishman. And he's shown it in spades there.
Well, a lovely strike. Just when it looked like Hume City might be able to conjure something up the other side of the pitch. And Joe Guest, he was the one that whipped that ball forward for Labib. And you just thought when he took his eye off the ball and wasn't able to get it under his spell immediately, you thought that that might have petered out that attack. But Guest rushes on to the loose football on the edge of the 18-yard box. And all the quality of a two-time gold medal winner. And Oakleigh have forced their way back in front. He does need to work on his celebration here with the knee slide. He might have to replace that divot. Come on, Joey.
Well, the quality of Guest is incredible. That first initial pass to pick out Labib, who unfortunately for Oakleigh, his first touch went a little bit behind him. It took 3 Hume defenders out of the game, this raking diagonal pass. But then in the end, he stayed in the game. He got himself up the park, as he does so well, to support the attack after playing the pass from the deep lying position. And it's his old mate, Alex Salmon, that just laid it up nicely for him. He knew where he wanted it. On my left foot, thanks very much. 3-2.
Joe Guest's 5th goal of the season. Tonight he goes equal 3rd for all-time appearances at Oakleigh in the top division. He goes equal with John Honos tonight, Joey Guest. Go into outright 3rd position next week.
You know you're doing well when you're equalising with stats, with matches with a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Hume have made another change as well. It looks like they've brought in Mooney Badus, a pacey option down the left flank as he gets the ball in early here. Lining up at the back post was Engelhardt. He got a good piece of that, but it was always a long way out.
First appearance of the season for Mooney Badus. He's another one that's been on the comeback trail from injury. So Hume City looking now for an equalising goal after going down and then scoring 2 goals to turn things around. And then it was Oakleigh who fought back. It's been a topsy-turvy match here at Jack Edwards. We thought that we were coming here today and we would get a great contest, Steve, and we would see goals and we'd see 2 teams that harbour ambitions of being at the pointy end at the end of the season. And, well, everything that we've seen this evening has absolutely suggested that that will be the case. Hume City on the march here once again. This is Engelhardt to the byline. Lofts it all the way in. Did it go out? It did. It went behind the byline there and out for a Oakleigh goal kick.
And we'll just confirm as well, Brent Burkhan-Kurta was the player subbed out to give Mooney Badus the opportunity there. Thanks, Nathan. But you mentioned Brent, like the prospect of being a top quality, high scoring, seesawing battle is exactly what we expected. I think we were both pretty excited when we were assigned to come and call this fixture, not only to be working together, but also knowing what this fixture would potentially entail. Hume City, a team who's in excellent form, exceeding all expectations, high on confidence, but also Oakleigh, they've got that quality of that championship side. The spine of that team is still there, really, isn't it? Plus some nice new ingredients, including Liston Diaz, who's come in to add some spark. Labib as well. Contributions from the likes of Adam Juratovic off the bench. And this man, Joe Guest, as well, who's so confident he can shoot from anywhere, just off the chest, and try and tee up another attempt on goal to try and seal victory here. But, well, they've got less than 10 minutes to hang on. It wasn't long ago that they were trailing in this one. But they are on track now to get a share of the points and see them climbing up the table.
It's been 2 goals in just 7 minutes for Oakleigh to force their way back in front. Bayou gave Hume City the lead on the 59th minute, and then goals in the 74th and 81st minute for Oakleigh. DeBallet just loses sight of that football mid-air. Here is Bayou on a hat-trick for Munibadis. In the corner, forward closes him down quickly. What's that is trying to do here? He loses his footing in the end and the ball. And here come the Cannons once again. Joe Guest. Ball forward. That time he and Salmon weren't on the same page. Labib's pace causing problems. How would you have rated Joe Guest's performance tonight, Steve, prior to that goal?
He'd been, I mean, by his standards, like his set pieces, excellent, everything. But in general play, he'd been somewhat well held by this this Hume outfit, which, ironically, is without their double pivot, without Steve White and Josh O'Kane, the two players who will be working together to try and close down his influence on the game. But I think it's hats off to Tsukamoto and Aidan Coyne, who played, and he's coined the ball here, who played in that double pivot that have tried to limit his influence. But as the game has got more and more stretched, as we've seen in the second half, it's not for the purists, not for your Catenaccio Serie A fanatics, but it has been very entertaining to watch as a neutral, to see this game of slingshot with the match spread out, and Joe Guest, that running power that he has to play that diagonal ball to Labib, and then get up the park and receive that little layoff from Alex Salmon, and wow, what a finish.
Hume are going to make a double change momentarily. Spinks header right up and down. The ball's out. Does it pave the way for Hume's double change?
Yeah, looks like Frank Busassa, who's on the score sheet in the Cup during the week, will be coming on. The 20-year-old from the Adelaide United Football Factory in South Australia. We'll see that change now, get that confirmation.
So Taylor Shriver's night will come to an end.
Yeah, I think a good call, as you mentioned, Brent. He's put in one hell of a shift. They don't want to risk him suffering another injury. He's too much of an asset to the team to have him out on the sideline. So a chance for the 23-year-old Queenslander Zahi Addis in the number 3 jersey to come on.
Ike Tsukamoto is the other one making way, who's been impressive again in midfield for Hume City, as he was a couple of weeks ago in the league against Preston.
Yeah, another good recruit for Hume, coming in from Eastern Lions last season, stepping up and really showing his quality at the NPL Victoria level.
This one goes behind for a goal kick. It was always going to be the question for Hume this season. Obviously, life after Lloyd Isgrove, who scored so many wonderful goals and really bailed them out on many occasions over the last couple of seasons. But it looks like, Isgrove's a wonderful player, but it looks like this Hume City team, despite the fact that they are down at the moment, they've recruited so well in so many other positions that this seems like a more formidable Hume team holistically.
They've got a more balanced squad this season, and that's the difference. Nick Hegarty, they've got some balance with Hegarty having a little bit more time to work through the pre-season.
Zahi Addis, by the way, making his first appearance of the season as well. The number 3 here for Hume City. It's his second season at Hume. He's come down from Gold Coast United, and you might remember him playing for Brisbane Roar's NPL side as well. Here's Alex Salmon.
Some of these Queenslanders could have brought the weather down with them, Brent.
They wouldn't have played in weather this cold ever, probably. Bayou. Hume City, have they got one last chance? Still plenty of time. In fact, that we don't have as much time as I thought we did. The clock has stopped here on the scoreboard. I'm thinking, I'm sure I looked at that 2 minutes ago and it said there's 10 minutes. We're actually heading towards the 89th minute, folks.
So, yeah, we are in the 89th. The clock here, so all the spectators here, particularly the Hume fans to our right, please make note, if they can hear us, that the clock, the digital scoreboard at the railway end of the venue on the left here, and it is a great scoreboard, but it has the clock is frozen.
It's come to a grinding halt. I'm sorry to get your hopes up there, Hume City fans. We're in the final minutes of the 90.
I wouldn't have minded an extra 10 minutes of this. It's been a cracking second half. So not too long for Oakleigh to hang on, and I fancy it'll be a rousing rendition of the team song in the dressing rooms if they are able to hang on. But Hume did score in the final minute of the first half, so Oakleigh going to need to play this one right out to the final whistle. Good headed by Ford, but it's straight to his opposite number in Addis. And here's a Deuce getting into the area. He's got some rough and tumble stuff going on there. but certainly no foul. He gets back up to his feet, and here's Calver. So time is now the enemy for Nick Hegarty's side. They haven't really been able to get Godfrey DeBallet, the substitute, into the action as much as they would have liked to since coming on for Josh Bingham, but only takes one touch, and could it be a telling touch from the substitute to make a difference? There's 4 minutes added on at the end of the 90 here, so Oakleigh, they're not far away here from a famous win, a come-from-behind win, and the curse of Oakleigh over Hume in the league could well continue, you fancy. Just when we thought that was going to be broken, Brent.
Yeah, well, this would, on paper at least, this would be Oakleigh's most impressive victory of the season so far. Beaten Altona, St Albans and the Georgies. Well, the Georgies have obviously been, competitive, but Green Gully and St Albans struggling. Just to make a little statement that the Cannons might have started this season a little slowly, a little sleepily, but they are still a team to be reckoned with. Oldfield blasts that one into the night sky. Ballet brings it down beautifully. Baywood is back to goal. Draws the foul. No, he doesn't. Engelhardt playing on. DeBellet misses it. And can you believe it? Can you believe it? Munib Adis sees this match flash before his eyes and sees the football flash past the post. It's a hideous miss.
I can't believe what I'm seeing here, Brent. It's a really good build-up. Look, they look like they were running out of chances. Godfrey DeBellet probably looks like he should have scored, but I think it was taken off his feet. We'll give him the credit. Looks like it's taken off his feet by one of the Oakleigh defenders who was marking him fairly closely. Well, Munib Adus won't get much of a better chance than that to level things up. You can see the Hume technical area. It's hands-on-head stuff over there.
I think they know that was the opportunity.
Is there maybe more here? Manos is coming charging out of his goal. It's going to be a Hume throw-in. Adisu Bayo initially wanted to take, but Koda Kador is coming over to try and launch the long throw here. It's a short run up from the fence. Not too much room between the fence and the paint of the touchline. Kador does his best to launch it in. Away by Hampson. It was hit by Coyne. Not the first time this evening he's tried to hit a sweet volley from just outside the edge of the area. Adus, who missed that chance a moment ago, gets a decent-looking ball in off the boot, but it was taken well by Manos. Adus working hard to make up for his previous error. He gets the ball. Oldfield says, get it going up the park, son. Coyne. They're going all the way back to Oldfield. So 4 minutes is the nominated added time amount. The roof playing ball boy there, fortunately for Hume. Looks like Aaron Calver has stepped up from central defence as a makeshift attacker, and he won a free kick here, so good work by the big central defender. Oldfield's going up as well, so we could be even on here for a goalkeeper goal, who knows, or perhaps Oakleigh can make it 4-2 with the empty net. Salmon is standing about 8.5 yards from the dead ball here. More time coming off the clock. Taken by Coyne. Oh, it's easy for Manos. Routine, really. Disappointing for Hume, not able to make the most of that one.
Oh.
Handy free kick to win there. Labib. Sent a couple of feet up into the evening sky on the halfway line, and Oakleigh will be in no hurry to take this one. So 4 minutes is the amount of added time. We have just hit the 4 minute mark here now. Yanni Melita says, get on with it. Boyce is going to take his time. And will this curse that Hume is facing against Oakleigh in the league continue? It looks like it will. Oakleigh, a famous come-from-behind win. Inspired by the winner from their captain, Joe Guest. A seesawing battle between two great sides, the Oakleigh Cannons and Hume City. It really could have gone either way. And crowd that made their way up to Jack Edwards this evening has been treated to a cracking contest, and I've got no doubt that aside from the fact that they'll meet again out at Broadmeadows in the league, Brent, that we'll see these sides again in cup football or league finals at the latter part of the season. It was Alex Salmon that got us going on 25 minutes, picking up a second ball and lashing it home to give Oakleigh the lead. Adisu Bayou in the final minute of first half stoppage time from a quickly taken Hume City corner kick, winning his header and getting it off Manos off the post and in. And then it was Adisu Bayou again, also off the post. An attempt that broke to him after Englehart's shot came back to him at a rate of knots. He was able to put it in the back of the net. Juratovic off the bench, devastating effect on 74 minutes to level it up when Hume looked pretty comfortable at the time, playing out from the back. They were caught out. And then as the game stretched, it was Joe Guest that came and made the difference on the 80th minute. There is the stats there. 8 shots on target for Hume, just the 4 for Oakleigh. Should Hume feel a bit hard done by, Brent?
A little bit, I think, but you got to hand it to Oakleigh. I mean, that's a win of great resolve. You can look at the way that Oakleigh found a way to win that match, and you can tell they're the team that has that championship pedigree, and all of those players that were there when they won it a couple of years ago, and 1 or 2 that were there when they won it 4 years ago. Some good learnings, I think, for Hume City to take away. I don't think they've lowered their colours at all, but just a great game of football, and like you said, I think we suspect that those teams will meet again. They have played in the finals before, these two, and I think they'll meet again on match day 21, I think. So that'll be over at Nassiol Stadium, and Hume will feel like they've got a little bit of unfinished business. But as of tonight, it's 7 consecutive league victories over Hume for the Cannons. They've got their measure, haven't they?
Yeah, and Hume's first loss since that round 1 surprise upset at home against Altona Magic. And, yeah, good result for Oakleigh as well. They really want to be one of those sides who's pushing setting the pace in the top 6, and this result on the live ladder moves them up to 2nd. So they've jumped that's so congested, that top 6, they've moved from 7th before kickoff to 2nd right now on the live ladder. They're on 14 points, goal difference of +3. So they sit behind the league leaders, South Melbourne, on 18, who enjoyed a convincing victory 3-0 against Preston Lions today. Heidelberg held earlier 2-2 at home against the Altona Magic. Dandy City leading the Bentley Greens 1-0